Hi, everyone, and welcome. Today we are touring Bollywood by Shiv, and she's on the Discord call with me today. Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hey everyone, my name is Shiv, and this is my India-inspired island.
Yeah, I'm really excited to tour it. I've actually toured some other culture, like islands based off of countries before. Like I did the Mexico one, and I did uh, an Indonesian one too. And I don't know, I just like seeing all like the references throughout like the island because a lot of the times, and I've seen this, like you've sent me some reference pictures already, but you made actual locations in the game, which I'm really excited to see. So
Yeah. So it's actually based like those videos that you just mentioned, the Aztec and the Bali Island. Those really inspired me to like kind of like embrace my own culture and really dive into the theme because I feel like some people kind of make smaller areas based on culture or things that they like, and I wanted to just like really go into it because I saw how excellent those were and how authentic they felt. And I just wanted to create something that was like authentic to me and my culture.
oh, that's so cool, and I love your outfit already. It's like that's very beautiful. Did you make this yourself? Or
I did.
oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. So, welcome to my island. There is going to be a lot of explaining, so just feel free to cut me off whenever. But there's just a lot of significance and meaning behind a lot of the monuments that we'll be seeing, and some of like the cultural areas that I've built based off of traditions. Um, and that's why I like to do audio guided tours, just because there's just so much to cover, and a lot can be lost over like a dream tour. So yeah, you'll see like there are aroma pots on either side. They're meant to kind of like signify these lamps in India called diyas. They're just kind of like to rid you of any like negative energy, and rid you of this like thought called nazar, which is like a Hindi thing for just kind of like the evil eye. It's a very common like Indian auspicious thing.
Wow.
And then
Okay.
yeah, so and then the yellow is just like psychologically kind of meant to like, trigger happiness. So like I'm all about the positive vibes. I just wanted people to feel good right when they enter the island. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Get rid of all those negative vibes as soon as they enter, so they could be amazed when they see all your stuff on your island.
Yeah. So these are presents for you. This is gonna be your outfit for the tour, but
Oh, I'm so
maybe
excited.
like halfway through or something, we could like go to my Able shop and you can shop my collection too.
Yeah, for I would love to see your custom patterns because that one looks great already. Is this like what's the name of that outfit? Is there a name for it?
Yeah, so this is kind of like a sari. It's a lenga, so it's basically a sari decomposed. A sari is actually 9 yards of fabric that's wrapped around the body, but it's kind of hard to create that in pixel form. So I just made like a half version of that, which is a lenga. It's just a cloth that you wrap around, and then a top and a skirt. And then I'll be changing throughout the thing, so you can see a bunch of different outfits that I've made. But yeah,
Oh, cool. How many outfits did you make for this?
for tours, I have like five, but for my collections, I have about like 5 or 6 that I release every collection, and I make them in every skin tone because saris are really revealing. As you can see, I have like midriff showing too,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
I can see
wanted
that.
everyone to like be able to wear them and like feel comfortable wearing them. So I made them in all the skin tones for people to download.
All inclusive too. Wow, that's really thoughtful of you.
All right. So if you pan your camera, you'll be able to see our very first monument. So this is going to be very educational for everyone watching. This
That's what
is
I love about these.
actually this is actually a palace that exists in real life. It's in Jaipur, which is an area in the north side of India, and it's a lake palace. And when you put up the picture, you'll be able to see that from like the eye level, it actually looks like just one story, but there's actually 4 layers submerged underneath water. And it was built in like the 1700s. So like that engineering and architecture just like blows my mind. Um, but yeah, so this is actually my latest build, my most recent like palace build. So that's why I feel like they progressively get better. So it's interesting that we're starting off with this one. Um,
Uh,
but yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure you're underselling yourself. This is, by the way, this is just amazing. I love this kind of architecture too. I like how you also like included kind of the aging of the architecture and the patterns, like the wall patterns for it.
Yeah, so I actually used the AC pattern tool online to basically take like Google images of the actual palaces and then convert them into pixels just because I have no patience to like actually sit
Yeah,
here and make this.
yeah.
Um, and it's super helpful. So if anyone's trying to build stuff like that, I really suggest using that.
So and you've included more of the candles to get rid of the negative energy.
Yep, yep. Always about the getting rid of those negative vibes. So this kind of just like continuing the yellow theme. Yellow is my favorite color, and also this beach I coined it as Turmeric Beach because turmeric's like a really common Indian spice, and that color is just like kind of found throughout India. And that actual palace that we saw is yellow, but it's because of age. Most of the stuff in Jaipur was built with red sandstone. That's kind of like aged into this color, but that kind of brings us to our very first restaurant. And this isn't a food that a lot of people recognize. I always think it's sushi. It's actually dosa and idli. It's a very common South Indian breakfast food. And it's kind of like a crepe and some like rice cakes.
Oh, that sounds actually really good. I've never had it before. Do they sell it in the States or anywhere else?
Yeah, they do sell in the States. It's less popular than like North Indian food. You'd find at like weddings and stuff. They have like everyone kind of is familiar with like naan and chicken tikka masala or butter chicken. It's like very common for people to know that. But I personally am South Indian, so I just kind of wanted to make something that was like more representative of my people. So this is another monument. This is actually based off of a real life temple in Punjab, which is a northern state as well. And if people are familiar with Sikhism, which is a religion, this is a gurudwara, it's a temple. And it welcomes like 100,000 people like daily as visitors, and they can be of any faith. And I just thought it was like a beautiful message to send people that like, even if it's like a temple of specific religion, they're still so welcoming of so many other religions as well.
That is a really nice message to send. I wish you could like, it'd be cool if you could put like information boards near
I
near
wish
each
I could
thing
do
so
that.
people understand. That would be really cool for Dream.
I go into a lot more detail on my Instagram just because I can't really do it in the game. So that way people can like read up on it and learn. And it's been so cool like hearing or like seeing people learn about Indian culture just throughout this island. I think that's like fascinating that you could even use a game like this to be educational.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this is my museum that I actually turned into a college because a museum is essentially a place of knowledge. And originally before your tour, I had a lot of Bollywood references like everywhere throughout this island, but no one got them because they don't watch Bollywood movies. So I decided to make it a little bit more just like about the country instead and change a lot of the places up to reflect that. So this is probably going to be my next build. I'm going to try and build something else using the museum building itself, but that's going to be hard because you can't really build around it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. Cool. Can I just go in really quick just to...
Yeah,
I'll just
go for it.
go around really quick. Just some statues, and you match the coloring of the fountain with the floor.
You're gonna learn that I have like no custom design slots left, so
Yeah.
that's also why I want to get rid of the museum because even that one tile is taking up the slot that I need.
Yeah.
All right, so this is just like a little fishing area. I use the sleighs to make some boats. I've seen a lot of people who have like Thailand-based islands make similar looking boats, and they're just meant to just represent actual fishing boats in Kerala, which is like a coastal region in India. And if you do look around here, there's like pretty much throughout my entire island, there are like Easter eggs to other things that we're going to be seeing across the tour. So like my flag, for example, is the Indian flag, and it's on this little magazine right here. And then you have some basmati rice that's up on the top right there because we're going to be visiting a rice mill later on. And this little scattered paper area is for the coconut farm that we're going to be seeing later as well. So it's just kind of like to start familiarizing people with the brands so that when they go through the island, they pay more attention to it if I'm not like touring them and they're just seeing it through a dream.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I recognize the rice, but everything else is lost on me, so I'm really happy you're here explaining everything.
Sweet. So this is just a classroom behind the college. It's probably going to be another thing that's going to go, unfortunately, but it took a lot of books to make this, so
yeah,
it's going to hurt.
Bookcases are very expensive in this game, so...
Sweet. All right.
This looks like a park, or...
Yeah, so it's just like a continuation of the college area. It's just supposed to be like vending machine park area. And then this is the Bazaar, which is a really common thing in India to have like shopping marketplaces in really small and like tight, cramped areas. So that's kind of why the lag really just helps to like emphasize that this is supposed to be this way. But also, I wanted people to kind of maneuver around and have a hard time getting through it because that's just kind of how it is in India. And then right where you're at, if you kind of like pan up, you'll see on the right-hand side, there's like a bunch of billboards. And then again, that's just to kind of like familiarize people with some of the brands that they'll be seeing. And these are like actual brands that exist too. So, and they're all like custom codes that I made. Yeah, and then just around the bazaar, there's just a bunch of different outfits. Some of my custom codes, some of them are stuff that come in the game. That's kind of what inspired me first to create the island. Was I got like a sari from my villager or like the Able Sister shop, and I was so confused because I did not know that that existed in the game. So I was like, I wonder if I could just create an entire island themed around India, and then I started making some clothes, and that kind of just spiraled into this rabbit hole that we are currently in right now.
Well, you did it. Well, so far I'm really impressed with the island. I like how you incorporated like so much in like I feel like you don't get that much space on your island, but you've managed to cram so much information already. I feel like we haven't seen that much of the island yet, and already have so much information and things to see.
And then if you stand in front of Abel's and you pan up, you'll also see like a kind of like a faux building situation.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. And then we can go inside and we can get you a new top at least.
Sure. Custom pattern time. Or, I mean, custom clothing. I like how you display it outside of the Able Sisters too. Nice. Look at all this. Wow. Okay. So all of these are yours? All these custom designs?
Yeah, so all of these are mine. And the second top row is actually my husband's wedding outfit that we're going to see a little bit later in the game too. And then the one right below the blue shirt is actually a wedding dress that I made for someone in the community. She saw my Indian designs and she wanted to like commission me basically to like make her an outfit. And I thought it was just like the sweetest thing. So
yeah,
I just
that's
wanted
really
to showcase
sweet.
it. But yeah, so the third outfit next to the black is actually based off of the first prime minister in India. His name is Jawaharlal Nehru, and that jacket like style is actually called the Nehru style jacket. So it's just like also like historical importance on that as well. Sweet, cool. That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
good job.
I like this one. So, how do you, what's your process for designing like these type of clothes? Do you just reference the real life clothing and then just try to make it as best as you can?
Yeah, I just Google a bunch of outfits that I like and then try my best to recreate them. The female outfits are a little bit harder, just because there's so many intricate little patterns and designs.
Yeah.
But the male ones are pretty easy. I can just swap the colors on those. And then if we continue onto this beach side, there's just a couple of more boats down here. And then I kind of wanted it to be like the village where people fish is down over where we first saw it. And then they deliver the fish to this fish market here. So that's why there's like boats coming in on this side and there's boats going out on the other side. So this is actually representative of Goa, which is a coastal region in India where they have a lot of seafood. And they sell like fresh seafood like by the beach too. So So this is my second character's house. I just made a second character because I ran out of space on the island.
That
And
happens.
I wanted, hence the cockroaches, because I haven't been in here in forever. But I wanted to create a house like kind of based on the professions that you may find, or like just like small little hints and clues about the people of India. So we're actually going to head upstairs first.
So is it looks like a bank or like a storage place for money, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's definitely a bank.
Okay.
But the way that I built the house, I wanted it to work chronologically in terms of how India's careers progressed over time. So rice farming was like one of the first agricultural things that they did, and it's also a kind of like entered them into the world economy. So instead of making like a rice paddy field, which I think a lot of like Indonesian, Japanese, Thai islands I've seen like do, I wanted to make a rice factory. So you'll see like three different processes that are happening. Like first is like the sieving, which is kind of like sorting the rice and getting all of the like dirt out of it. And then the drying and washing of the rice over here, and then you have the packaging on the right hand side. So this is supposed to be like more of like an industrialization kind of version of rice cultivation.
I like that you're trying to show the actual process behind it. That's really cool. I haven't seen somebody like do this before. What's the custom pattern in the back with on the simple panel? Is
So
that
it's actually a machine I had to research because I had no idea how to make rice, obviously. And, it's like a factory machine called a sieve. People sieve using their like the net kind of looking thing, like when you have it at home and people sieve rice, they do it that way. Or in like villages, it's common to do that. But in the more industrial like factories and stuff, they have like a machine that does it, and it just like sorts the rice, I think. So another, again, just like progressing chronologically was a big part of Indian like farming and stuff was just like horticulture, agriculture. So I just kind of wanted to create a little plant room. I had seen so many people do like really cute plant rooms, so I just kind of wanted to make one for myself. So that's my excuse for that.
No, that's fine. That's definitely. I like how you included like I think a fan or something in there to make the plants blow a little bit or move.
Yeah, I love like the small little movement adjustments that the
Yeah.
game has to like, or like the flickering lights when you move your camera, like. Um, so you guessed right, it is a bank. And the main like thing that I wanted to point out here. Oh, I just
Nice. You got all of
achieved
them. There
something.
you go.
So the main thing I wanted to point out was the gold. A lot of value is placed on gold in India, and a lot of like Eastern countries, I think in general, where they have like gold coins that are exchanged for like various things. At least back in the day, that was like a really common thing for trade. Um, so that's kind of why I put it here in the bank. I know a lot of people do that anyway, but specifically for this island, I just wanted to like show that it was an important thing in India. And then this is meant to be an IT cafe, like a cyber cafe. It's also just kind of like an ode to like engineers. My dad and his brothers and my grandfather and my husband, they're all engineers. So like to me, it was like really important to kind of like pay homage to them, and like make a room for them here.
I'm a software engineer too, so
Oh,
I get
nice.
it. I'm a big fan of the room. I also like how you included the Netflix in there too. Just throw that in.
Just had to. Someone's
Yeah.
someone's always slacking off somewhere,
Uh
you know?
huh. Everyone else is doing all the work. Some guys watching Netflix in the corner. That's how it goes.
All right. And then this is an homage to the rest of my family who are all physicians. I'm actually the black sheep of my family. I'm a photographer by profession. So I wanted to, especially during what's happening right now in the world, I wanted to create a hospital to thank all the healthcare people that are out there, just on the line, just giving up so much of their time and effort for us.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I
Shout outs
hadn't
to
really
them.
seen, yeah, shout out. And I hadn't really seen like a clinic or a hospital being done. I've seen like really scary ones, like the horror islands.
Yeah,
But
they. That's pretty much the ones I've seen too. They like include like some blood, and I'm like, okay, well, we're like the clean, normal patient rooms.
so this is meant to be a really stark contrast to my house, which we'll see later on in the tour. But it's kind of like an entire house in one room, studio apartment, and it's just to show like that Indians in India, like the typical average Indian, they're going to do so much more with such little space that they have versus like I feel like here we're like constantly looking for bigger, better, next, something that's gonna like make us look really good or just is like bigger in terms of space. So I kind of just wanted to compartmentalize everything and show that you could still fit everything in one room if you really tried and it's functional. And then specifically the bathroom is like meant to be like more of an Eastern style bathroom with like a squatty potty. But I put the toilet paper just in case,
Yep.
someone visits.
These toilets aren't really in the States, so.
All right. So that kind of brings us to like the least Indian part of my island, and this is kind of just like my way of showcasing my hybrid flowers and some terraforming. So this is what I call Unity Falls. It's kind of like meant to be in support of the LGBTQIA plus community, as well as just showing off my hybrids. And that I once was considered a 5-star island, but now I am not because I have weeds everywhere. So
Yeah, that happens. Sometimes you have items on the ground. Sometimes Isabel just doesn't like your trees. Too many trees, too many plants. I don't know.
she's so picky.
Yeah.
So hard to please. So this is the Indian flag. I made this by myself. I could have totally used pattern tool, but I had too much pride back in the day. So that was like one of my first custom clothes that I made. And then if you sneak behind resident services and like pan up towards the little hedge behind, you'll see like a recreation of the flag. And I actually go into like more detail about what the wheel in the center of the flag represents because it actually does mean something on the Indian flag.
You
so I
recreated
definitely
it with flowers and bushes.
yeah.
That's cool. Sorry, I cut you off. What did you say?
No, you're good.
Okay.
So if you just wanted to learn more about like what the center point of the flag is, then you could like check out my Instagram for that.
Oh yeah,
but
sure.
it definitely means something. So that's kind of why
check
there's a
it out.
tire
It's on
toy.
the screen right now. Ooh.
And then this is kind of like Starbucks, but Indian version. It's called Cafe Coffee Day. They're like around every corner, just like how it is here. And I just wanted to. I originally was going to make a Starbucks because now Starbucks is everywhere in India. But I just wanted to make something that was more authentic. So.
Are there like a lot of outdoor cafes in India, or is it?
There's like more like street side
Okay.
cafes, like a bunch. Yeah.
I love this
And
train. This
then-
is so cool.
And then if you open your camera up, kind of like where I'm at,
Sure.
then you can like run away, and you'll see like the perspective because of the game and how it's like made.
Right. It looks so good. If you're like in this perspective, it looks like an actual train.
Yeah, and then I wanted the top part to be like the sitting area, so it wouldn't like take away from that at all. But
Really, I've seen some train design, but this one's really nice. I like the simple panel pattern too. Did you?
Yeah.
Where did you find this? This is cool.
that one is not mine.
Yeah.
That one I found on Reddit, I think. But that's probably going to be one of the things that's going to go, unfortunately. So.
Oh, well, I like how it used the middle divider as it kind of like incorporates the pattern, and I don't know, it just works together like the two simple panels.
There's actually a third one that's supposed to be just all black so that it would
really?
look seamless. But I, again, did not have space even for that, so I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to do these. So this game is called Carom Board. It's like a really old Indian game. And it's basically a bunch of like checker pieces that are made of wood that are in the center, and then you use your fingers to strike them and then try to get them into the goals in the little corner pockets. So I know that a lot of people like in Europe or even in New York, you see a bunch of like chess players kind of like street side or in the parks.
Yeah,
so I kind of
for
wanted
sure.
to give a spin off of that.
I'm actually from New York, so
Oh, nice.
yeah. See them all the time at like parks and stuff.
So this is what you just mentioned about coffee like shops on the streets and stuff. This is supposed to be a recreation of that. We've kind of entered like more of like a rural India. there isn't anything back in that corner. It's kind of just meant to create perspective. But so you'll see like a bunch of billboards here, lots of advertising, and then a bunch of like jail bars and clotheslines. It's just meant to really make it look compact and compressed, really like claustrophobic. And then this is like a little neighborhood playground and just like more housing up there.
Oh yeah, I like this. It's like a mini basketball court. Yeah.
And this is just like a continuation of that yellow beach area. It's a little cafe.
Oh, this is like a fancier cafe though. They got the cloth table, nice diner seats. I like how you match all the yellow color. Even the cashier over there has the yellow apron. What does that say? Cafe Coffee Day?
Yeah. So that's the coffee like shop that's everywhere in India.
Oh, okay. That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know it sounds really redundant, but that is what it's actually
I would have thought it was made up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. But sorry, I'm blocking
this
you.
is kind of like no, you're good. This is like the second kind of like house that we've seen that's similar to this. I just wanted, because the villager houses, like we can't really change them. I wanted to create something that looked a little bit more authentically Indian. So you'll see that the bunk bed is supposed to kind of represent it being very hollow on the inside. A lot of Indian houses have like a courtyard built into the center of their houses. It's kind of like where in like older times all the family would come and meet in that center courtyard instead of like being in their rooms. So that's kind of just like those little houses are kind of scattered throughout the island. And then this actually brings us to my villager area, where it's again really tight and compact because I wanted it to represent like a city or like a community feel.
Yeah, very. Also, that is actually really creative, like design using like the bunk bed and then the 2 stalls to make like a mini house. I like that a lot. I might take that idea. I like it.
Go for it. It's not mine, so
okay,
please go for it. Cool. So this is the coconut farm. It's based in Kerala, which is the southern coastal region, when I was researching it, I found out that in Kerala they eat like a coconut a day. Like every family member eats 1 coconut a day, and like I thought that like I'm not a fan of coconuts, but I'm like that was like a strange fact to me because I'm like it's not really found a lot in like Western food. So to me it was very surprising. But I'm also like if it's grown in your city, you're probably more likely to be eating it. So it makes a lot of sense that way. But yeah.
Yeah, so you just scattered coconuts on the ground to like represent that. That's interesting though. How does that? They just eat a coconut a day?
Yeah. A coconut is like found in a lot of like their curries, and then also in chutney, which is something they dip like a carb into. So like rice cakes or any type of rice-based dish, they can dip it into chutney, which has coconut in it as well. So I can understand why they eat it, but just to be like eating a raw coconut every day, I feel like that's a lot. It's excessive.
And then this is Kulfi Corner, I think I read.
Yeah.
Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, Kulfi Corner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's close. It's good.
Okay.
So Kulfi Corner, Kulfi just means like ice cream. It's like an Indian version of ice cream.
Is it different than regular ice cream?
Indian ice cream is actually just really sweet. I think it's because they use cane sugar. So it's similar to how like, like the Coke bottle, the glass bottle, they use cane sugar for that. And that's why people like it more because it's really sweet. So I think ice cream in India is kind of similar in that because they grow fresh cane sugar there.
So it's more unhealthy. But I like
definitely.
I like that though. I don't know.
All right. So if we go this way, you're probably going to have to tilt your camera up because you're going to be blocked by something. But this is actually a mango farm.
This is really nice.
We're very limited to like the fruits that we get in this game. But mango, I learned, is actually India's national fruit. And I wanted to like try and create something that I hadn't really seen before. And also, again, best represent India and its agriculture. So maza is actually a mango like drink, similar to like Sunny Delight, but for mangoes. And lassi is like a really common Indian beverage that you see at a lot of restaurants in the States as well. It's just like a mango smoothie. So I kind of wanted to combine the two at this farm that's sponsored by Maza, and that's kind of why we have both of them in the same area.
You should get them to sponsor you on Instagram. Maza, hello? I'm just kidding. It'd be cool though. I like how you left one open over here too. The baby, just I don't know.
Just so people understand what it is.
Yeah.
Because people really think that I like hacked the game and that I got these like magical items. I'm like, no, dude. Like, I literally spent so much time trying to figure this out. So I would appreciate.
I like their color in the golden. This time of day too. It really just makes the color perfect for mangoes.
Yeah,
but,
they're jumbo mangoes.
Jumbo
like
mangoes. Yep.
And then I wanted to show like different stages of growth. So like these are fall DIY items. Forget what they're called.
I think they're called tree bounty lamps. What they're called?
Yes, there you go. So you'll see like those are the very like starting stage, and then the cacao trees, because of the color, I thought it would work to like represent the next stage. And then there's some trees on the left hand side, and then these are like the end product is the actual mango. So
the giant mangoes, natural, all natural, no growth.
So this area on the left is kind of just meant to represent some like slums and stuff. You're gonna see it like around a lot of the monuments that I built, and it's just kind of like to remind people that, again, as beautiful as India is, it's still like an emerging third world country. It has like a 68% poverty rate, and I didn't want people to just kind of like forget about that, because I think that even when we travel, we tend to like not want to look into the negative aspects of a country and just focus on the positive. But we do harm it in that we don't really like learn truly about the country that way. So I just wanted to include that around everywhere, as well as like an educational part.
Yeah, I feel like that's really important too. I like how you decorated your dock.
So do you want to take a guess as to what this is? So this is actually a spice trading port that I kind of modeled around the concept of when India was first discovered by Vasco da Gama. It was for spice. And again, that's kind of like what infiltrated them into the world's trading economy. And the best part about this dock is that for every single spice rack on here, I actually had to trade on Nookazon to get them. So it's almost like I was trading for spice. And I thought that was just such like a cute thing about the game, but also like specifically for this area. I thought it was just like a fun fact. All right, so I think back in June we got the wedding update, and I think a lot of cultures probably felt like alienated from the update, because there was only like very non-denominational items that didn't really like work to like represent a cultural wedding. I just got married last year, and I kind of wanted to use like one of my thank you. I wanted to use like one of my wedding photos to like make as a reference picture for like an actual wedding setup that I could do in the game. And I can send you one so that you have it as reference, so you guys can see it right now. And if you notice, the outfit that I'm currently wearing is the wedding outfit that you see there. It's because this was my first custom design that I made in the game. It took like 12 hours to make.
That's an insane amount
really
of time.
sad fact. Yeah.
But it looks very nice. Like really nice. I like the slits you made in it too. To like I don't know. I haven't really seen people do that with clothing. But you do a very good job of displaying that. Sorry, I cut you off. What did you want to say?
No, you're good. So they're actually on the outfit. They're chandeliers, because my husband's an electrical engineer. So on Indian outfits, you get like different embroidery and stuff like that. And again, also I'll send you a picture. But I wanted to try and remake it in the game, and that was the hardest part. That's why it took so long, because shading in pixel form is just the worst thing. It just takes forever to try and understand it and like get it right. But yeah, so next to my wedding is just like a little beach yoga spot. A lot of people didn't know that you could customize beach towels, so when they saw that, they kind of freaked out, and I was like, it's not that hard. At least it wasn't like, none of those are like my custom codes, at least, so I was happy about that.
Right. Yeah, I like the little yoga stand. Also, just for anyone wondering, you can actually customize the wedding items to have different colors. And I think you're using like the natural colors, which are more suited to like that style of wedding. I just wanted to let everyone know.
I feel like no one uses the pink ones because
Yeah,
so
the pink one is just like. I mean, if you have like a pink island, it makes sense, but any other situation, it's like, all right, this is too much. I don't know what to use this for.
So after a good yoga session, you need a good brew, and this is the Bollywood Brewery. And like we mentioned, those beers that we saw on the billboards, they're the only 2 beers you can find here. And I definitely got inspiration to make a brewery from people online. I saw some stuff on Reddit as well that had these like oil barrels and the garden faucets to like make keg-looking situations. And yeah, so this is. This area on the right is like super cluttered and just kind of meant to like give you that brewery feel.
Oh, okay. Is this where you have like the reception and everything from the wedding? Because you're right there.
Yeah, I'm just
got a tissue box here for anyone who has those emotions. At least one person cries at a wedding, every wedding.
All right. So this is my
cool.
next monument. Yeah, that's the best spot. That's the photo spot.
Oh my god, look at this. Sorry, you could explain what this is.
No, you're good. So I just want to make sure I'm not in your camera. There we go. Okay. So this is the Toorji Ka Jhalra. It's a step well. It was actually built by a queen in Jaipur, and it kind of like followed the idea that a bunch of female leaders were making a bunch of waterworks projects in India at the time. It's made out of red sandstone, and as you can see, to pretty much everyone's disappointment, I used 4 inclines to make this, and I think that it hurts everyone when they see that because it like really gets you in the gut. I know there's an incline limit before someone in the comments comes for me. I am very well aware of that, but it was worth it. So
I feel like it's worth it. This is definitely worth it. 4 of the 8 inclines here used, but I feel like it's really unique. I haven't seen people use 4 inclines this close just to make a design like this. So
yeah, and I'm like really, I was gonna tear it down to build something. I was like, no, I can't do it. It's gonna hurt too much. So
no. I think you should keep it. It's really nice.
And then just because I am a photographer, there's like a lot of like hopping spots that I like made for people, like if they do dream of my island, so that it makes it like foolproof to get like really good pictures. And also just because I spent so much time thinking about perspective, I wanted to like really make sure people were getting good photos if they're posting them somewhere, just because I don't have like control over that. So yeah.
Right.
And then
I feel
this
like it's
is
pretty
just
obvious from the camera spot.
And then this is just the upper part of that neighborhood we were earlier visiting down there where the chai spot is. And this is Raymond's house on the right. He gets the most like prime location, beachfront property.
Of course.
And then again, this, just like the slums, was kind of like meant to show that disparity between rich and poor, because Raymond cost so much. I just made him really wealthy too in the game. But you can see that like he has so much space in his little courtyard, and like this area on the left is so cramped, and they're just living within their means. So it was again to show that like kind of that contrast between the two. And even like color wise, you'll see that he has like really fancy stone and the fence that's different. So I just kind of wanted to use items to signify that as well.
It looks very nice. It looks like Raymond's living the life over here. Plus he gets like a huge yard compared to everyone else to the left of him.
And that little like alley that we were running on, that's kind of like meant to be like in Aladdin, how he's like running on rooftops.
Oh,
It was just to kind of like symbolize that same thing. In India, like it's very, again, cramped and stuff in the rural areas. So I just wanted to make it a little fun area to hop across. And then if you've noticed on the floor, there's like been a lot of scattered papers, but one of them is the actual newspaper it's one of the newspapers that exists in India. It's called the Hindu. And they're just, again, they're scattered everywhere across the ground to represent a bunch of litter, but I wanted to make a proper stand as well.
Right, they have to have a source where they're coming from, so it makes total sense.
All right.
So pretty.
And then this, yep, I'm gonna get out of your shot again, hold on. So this is the Hawa Mahal, and it's in Jaipur as well. So a lot of palaces are in Jaipur, at least the ones on my island. And This one is a translates to the Wind Palace because there's actually 950 windows that are like comprise the entire part of the palace, the front part of it. And I can't build 5 layers, but it's actually 5 stories. So you're only seeing a very small version of it right now, miniature version. And the really cool thing about this is like the reason why there's so many windows was because of all the women that lived in the palace back in the day. They weren't allowed to be seen by the public, so they had these windows to like peer down into the streets to see like what the public was doing like during festivals and just like everyday life. So it was like their little like creeper spot, you know. And they're honeycomb windows, so they're specifically like made to look like as if a bee's honeycomb would look like, and then that's how the wind gets through the palace. So that's what gives it its name.
Oh, cool. And I put up a reference photo for anyone who wants to compare. I think it's really cool how you did this. I like how it's like this is like 3 or 4 layers up. 3 layers. Wow. It just looks so tall. I haven't really seen a structure this tall in Animal Crossing, so.
And this is like my little pride and joy. This was my first like building build. So there's like a couple of photo spots here, but this one is to get like that really grand sense of the Taj Mahal. When you first enter like the Taj Mahal property in Agra in India, it's like very ominous looking from afar because it looks massive. And then, you know, even when you get closer, it's very big. It's a very big structure. But I wanted it, especially during sunset, to have this like silhouette effect. And then once you hop on the stone, you can actually see the detail of the panels and everything.
Oh, this is so pretty. I love this. Might be one of my favorite house entrances. Look at this. I love the ferns that lead up to it too. Yeah,
that's like that's like actually what, again, reference picture, but that's actually what the Taj Mahal looks like. I just want to get out of your shot. I'm gonna come down. All right.
Oh yeah, sure.
But this one I think was like, even though it was my first build, it was like the hardest to get right. I think I went through 7 versions of this to like make sure it worked, but it was just hard because this is an actual house in the game versus the other ones are just panels. So it's easier to like construct something versus this was like I'm working around something I can't really control that much.
And of course you live in the Taj Mahal.
This is also meant to represent like me as a person, just like I am born in America, but I was raised very Indian. So you're going to see like a lot of fusion elements in here. And even with like some of the items and stuff like that. I love that like this is actually mom's cushion that's on the floor, and that's like one of the options you can customize it as. And I just thought it was like super cute that was even a thing in the game. It's like one of the 3 Indian items there are in this game. So
got to at least include those. All right, so we are in the right room now.
Yeah, and then same thing with the kitchen. The flooring is custom, and then you have those references to stuff that we've seen in the island so far. The spice port, where the garam masala was at, and then the rice, that you were so awesomely sitting on right now.
I just realized it as soon as I sat on it. I'm like, oh, I'm sitting on rice. It's fine.
A really fun fact about me being Indian, I actually do not eat rice like at all.
Oh,
and
really?
Like, my family shames me for it all the time.
Wow, that's actually really surprising. You have so many rice like packets on your island and you don't eat it.
And there's nothing like super Indian about this. This is just like meant to be something super relaxing. But I guess the main focus of this room is like the lighting.
The lighting
because I am
really
a photographer, nice. I wanted it to be like really nice ambient light. So I really focused on the mood lighting in that room specifically.
So do you do mostly wedding photography?
Yeah, just predominantly. I mean, not so much right now, but
yeah.
Definitely
not right now.
Yeah, people are still having weddings though. So.
Oh, this is awesome.
And
then. Sorry, you can explain.
I definitely got a lot of. I mean, I got a lot of inspiration from other people online that have done movie rooms and stuff like that. But I'm a huge Marvel fan. I actually made a like tribute to Chadwick. When he passed, because in the film, if you recall, like he wears like these outfits that are pretty Indian looking. Africa and India have like a very interesting history together. So there's just like some fashion elements that were inspired in the movie, like by Indian stuff, and I wanted to like kind of pay homage to him that way. So it was really like, cool to like deliver them to people's Able stores, like fans of Chadwick and stuff, and like I don't know, just like felt like such an honor for like people to want their villagers to wear it or just like want it in their store, like to showcase it.
Oh, that's really wholesome and nice of you to do.
And then this is just my room. There's like a very personal touches here. I have like Photoshop on the computer, and this is meant to be like a little studio setup over here. And if you notice, like for any photographers that play this game, because there's no camera like object, I actually took the shirt that had the camera on it, and I just hung it up to make it look like it's my camera.
Yeah, I mean, that's a
but it
creative
only
thing
works.
to do.
It only works if you have a black wall, because then it pops off like crazy. So.
Yeah, that's a really creative thing to do. I wish they would have like just a camera item. I guess they have like the tripod one, but like one you could hang on the wall or place down a table would be cool.
I guess they think that the Nook phone is just your camera, so
Yeah.
they're over it.
Ooh, this is awesome. This is like a sauna room, I would say.
Yeah,
or spa room.
It's like an indoor pool, and then there's a little spa over there, and some like a little like bar. This is probably one of the rooms that I'm gonna change pretty soon, just because like the season change. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but that's the water flooring from the summertime DIYs.
Very nice house.
And then if you if you notice, like even with my villager houses, there's like shoes outside of their houses, and then shoes in both my room and the other room that we went to in the other house. Just because like that's again a very Eastern thing to like take your shoes off before you enter a home. So I did it with all my villagers too. It's like one of the like things I forgot to mention over there. But if you do come across
I
that
noticed
area,
that there were some shoes blocking like half of the doorway. That's really creative.
Yeah.
I like that.
and I think that's it for the island.
Oh, really? Wow. I feel like I learned so much. That was just like, boom, information dump. Here's everything about India. Yeah, I like how you managed to like incorporate. No, it's not your fault at all. I love how you incorporated so much in the space that you had. Yeah, so if you want to visit the island, here's like the dream code and the map and everything. Do you have any final words for anyone who is going to visit the Dream Island?
Oh, I totally forgot to mention my villagers. That they're also like kind of like included in the theme. I tried to get like specifically Margie and Soleil because their Japanese names translate into Margie's is sorry and Soleil's is Shanti, which means peace in Hindi.
Oh, wow.
But the other ones are kind of like animals that you would find in India. And also like Bengal's name is like Bengal is an actual Indian thing, and I'm still working on getting some other ones, but the ones that I have are pretty close to where I want to be. So
thank you so much, Shiv, for letting me visit your island, and thank you for explaining everything. If you want to visit, here's the dream address. If you want to check out her Instagram, here it is on screen. Definitely check it out. Well, you're a photographer, so you know how to get all the best shots in Animal Crossing, of course. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.